There's a weird moment that happens sometimes at funerals. You're sitting there trying to hold it together, and the pastor says something like, "They're in a better place now." And part of you wants to believe it, but another part of you, the one that watched this person suffer, decline, disappear, thinks, what if they're just gone? And then comes the guilt, because apparently if you're a Christian, you're supposed to believe in heaven, like it's part of the starter kit. Accept Jesus, receive eternal life, get a cloud with your name on it. But what if you don't? What if you love the Jesus story, live by the Sermon on the Mount, pray like breath, serve like it's sacred, but when it comes to heaven, you just shrug? Can you still be a Christian? I'm Theology Jack, your guide in exploring life's biggest questions and mysteries. Let's rewind this cosmic movie a little, because most people think Christianity is about getting into heaven, which is wild because Jesus barely talks about it. He spends more time telling stories about yeast and mustard seeds than the afterlife. And when he does mention eternal life, it's often in the present tense. The kingdom of heaven is within you. He says, not someday, not after you die, now. But somewhere along the line, we traded in this wild here and now revolution for a celestial retirement plan. Why? Because a heaven-focused faith is easy to sell. It's tidy. It comforts grandma. And it gives the powerful a convenient tool. Obey now, suffer now, and get rewarded later. It's spiritual capitalism. You endure low wages and broken systems because your real treasure is in the sky vault. It's the ultimate cosmic deferred compensation, which frankly sounds more like a cult marketing pitch than good news. And it begs the question, if heaven isn't the point, what is? Imagine the earliest Christians heard us today. They weren't dying for heaven. They were dying because they believed in a different kind of world, one where enemies were loved, the poor were blessed, the empire was exposed. That was their gospel, not a posthumous cloud club. So maybe the real scandal isn't not believing in heaven, it's thinking heaven's the point. Let me tell you a story. When I was 9, I asked my Sunday school teacher if dogs go to heaven. She said, no, they don't have souls, which felt insane, because if anyone deserved eternal joy, it was my dog Freckles, who had more empathy than half the adults I knew. That was my first theological crisis, not about hell, about dogs. But it cracked something open. What kind of God makes love temporary or turns belief into a loyalty test? And if heaven is real, why does it look suspiciously like our fantasies? A gated community with no crime and perfect weather. Is it theology or just wishful thinking? Now, don't get me wrong. I get the hope behind it. Grief demands imagination. We reach for heaven because it hurts too much to think about people being gone. Maybe, in a way, that's holy. But does that mean you have to believe in heaven to follow Jesus? Let's look at the text. Jesus talks about eternal life, but he also says things like, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." Not escape it, inherit it. In Revelation, the weird fever dream at the end of the Bible, the final vision isn't people flying away. It's heaven coming here. A new earth, a new holy city descending, God moving into the neighborhood, which sounds a lot less like escape and a lot more like restoration. So if you're holding the pieces of your faith like broken glass and heaven feels more like a fairy tale than a promise, you're not alone. In fact, you're in good company. There's a long tradition of Christians who don't believe heaven is the main event, or who see it as a metaphor, a placeholder for hope, a symbol, not a destination, because maybe the point isn't where we go when we die. Maybe the point is how we live while we're here. Maybe faith isn't a passport, it's a way of walking. So, can you be a Christian and not believe in heaven? Well, let's flip it. Can you believe in heaven and not follow Jesus? Because Jesus wasn't recruiting cloud sitters. He was calling people to love the unlovable, forgive the unforgivable, and build a kingdom with no throne. And if that's what it means to be Christian, then yeah, you can absolutely be one without buying the celestial real estate package. Maybe it's time we stop trying to escape the world Jesus came to save. Maybe resurrection isn't about leaving bodies behind, but learning how to live fully in them. Maybe heaven isn't up there. It's how we treat each other, how we grieve, how we hope. What do you think? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I'm reading everything and might even include your ideas in a future video. And a quick reminder, click like just to be cool. And hey, if this is your kind of stuff, hit subscribe for more. It helps me so much. Let's map ideas that can change the world together. And thanks for watching till the end, fellow explorers. Stay curious and embrace the mystery. This is Theology Jack, signing off.